Well, hello. This is Matthew of Matthew Sand Slashes, and just recording a video recapping my match against Prime and the Stonehenge Stack Attackers, and previewing the other semifinal between the between the Market Street Mareeps and the San Francisco 40 Grimers. So first we'll look at the match between me and Prime happened earlier today. Epic, great games. So my team, real quick, brief introduction. I have the only weather setter in the whole league, Vulpix. Maractus is my typical sun abuser, although Tinglet does get chlorophyll. And that's really good speed control. Maractus gets access to a bunch of things like max airstream, for instance, to set speed for the whole rest of my team. It can do Petal Blizzard to proc things like Boufflant, Sap Sipper, etc. It can proc Weakness Policy on Lantern. I've yet to use that successfully. Theoretically, it could work, maybe. Although Lantern's not that physically bulky, so I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, Sun is like my mode, my thing, and he's got a better Sun Sweeper in Shiftry, so Sun was not going to happen. I expected Runerigus, Magmortar, Kingler, Altaria for sure. Altaria mostly for Tailwind. He ran a very offensive Altaria in our regular season game that was instrumental to him basically beating me. I did win because he misclicked last game. And I surprised him with something he had never seen coming in game one. But he definitely had the better matchup and should have beat me. And Altaria was a huge part of why. I even tried running Cloyster, hoping that, Cloyster would be good against teams like his. But Cloyster's just bad on my team. Anyway, you got Golbat, Munchlax, Wooper. I didn't expect Munchlax, Wooper, or Vanillite, or Meryl, so I was expecting him to try to win. So then I did expect Shiftry, and then either Golbat or Dredagon. He ended up going with Dredagon. I did more expect Golbat, but I did make sure I had something that would sort of check Dredagon. So his Dredagon, as it turns out, because he posted the paste later, didn't have a dragon move, which makes sense, I guess. I've got Aegislash as a steal, and as it turns out, it was really good for him because I ended up using Max Starfall and saying Misty Terrain. So he dropped Golbat for that. Rune, Magmortar, Kingler, Altaria, Shifty, and Dredagon. My team, I couldn't run Vulpix. There's no point running Maractus without chlorophyll. Vulpix would just set up the Sun for Shiftry. It'd be stupidity to bring it. So then I could run Exploud, but I looked at his team, and his team is it's really a worst case scenario. My team's all mid-low speed, mostly, and his is mid-high speed. So nothing on my team freaking outspeeds him, with two exceptions. Those two exceptions are Manectric and Rapidash. And so it's a big part of why I got Manectric and Rapidash is because they are fast. And I had no fast Pokemon before I added them. I guess I had Heliolisk, but Heliolisk is absurdly fragile. It was also an Amon, and so by dropping him for Manectric, I was able to upgrade Heatmore, which is another really slow Pokemon, for Rapidash. So it was good. So I have two really good offensive fast Pokemon. Anyway, so I definitely wanted Pokemon that were either going to be really slow and tanky, get a lot done for me, or fast. And actually, I went pretty much just strict fast, with the exception of Lantern. I had Air Balloon Lantern because I was really scared of ground type attacks. See, my team has a real ground weakness. Ground Pokemon are normally really good, so they're overvalued in RTT. So there's not really any ground type Pokemon in RTT that is tiered commensurate with how good it really is. They're all pretty overrated. So like, I mean, I guess Piloswine as a B is pretty fair, but like if you look at the rest of the league, like who's really relying on ground type attacks, or sorry, ground type Pokemon? Like no one. Um, like someone's got Rhydon. Jace has Rhydon. Annoying. The Camerups of Piloswine, but like there's not a lot of ground types in this league. I definitely expected ground type attacks, and he certainly provided. Magmora had Scorching Sands, which I expected. Druddigon had Max Quake, which I expected. Anyway, so Lantern was Air Balloon at the very last night. I think last night as I was going to sleep. He's crazy. Who dreams or who thinks about these things when they're going to sleep? I did. I was like, as I'm lying in bed trying to fall asleep, I'm thinking to myself, you know, Rapidash doesn't need the Assault Vest. Like, he doesn't have any special attackers I'm scared of. You should just give it a Shuckaberry because you know he's going to Max Quake into it. You know he's going to Max Quake into it. Shuckaberry. So, I had a Shuckaberry. And, yeah. Then I also had Focus Sash for Manectric and Air Balloon for Lantern. So I went with 3 different items that would help my Pokemon avoid dying to a Max Quake. Give me 1 second. My wife is yelling at me. Not yelling, but calling for me. All right. So, yeah, it's it's a good team in general. Just the matchup is really bad against what he's got. So, Exploud, Bouffalant, they're slow, but they're not slow enough to really win in Trick Room either. So I just had to leave him on the sidelines. Bouffalant was, I think, the season MVP, and yeah, I just couldn't bring it, even though he doesn't have a single fighting type. But it's like what does Bouffalant do? One thing you notice is that other than Magmortar, who's definitely special, and of course Shiftry, who can run mixed, there's really not anyone on his side that's going to be a special attacker. And so physical defense is something I prioritize, which made Tangela just really appealing because I was like, man, bold Tangela, even if you don't fully invest, is so good defensively on the physical side. It's pretty frail, especially, which is why, I was so scared last week about the Vikavolt. But Tangela is just going to be really good. Someone's got the safety goggles on his team, but they can't all have safety goggles. So I thought Tangela would be good. Slash I brought because honestly I just needed a 6th Pokemon. It didn't have any real use. I wasn't expecting it for anything except for maybe if he started going hard Trick Room, I could do that. I did note that I put enough speed EVs to where at +1 it would outspeed everything on his team. And I gave it Aerial Ace for Max Airstream. It was Physical Aegislash. Honestly, probably didn't need to. I don't know. There's so many things I could have done with Aegislash that would have been better, but realistically, I knew I wasn't bringing it anyway. So, Lantern was the freaking MVP in the tank of the team. I made it Water Absorb instead of Volt Absorb this week. And by running Water Absorb, I had the flexibility to switch it into a Gmax Kingler move and just take that. It was Air Balloon. So I don't like air balloon generally as a concept, but it felt really important. It was ice beam. I debated between icy wind and ice beam for a long time. Went with ice beam for a stronger Gmax move and just focus damage. Um, and to avoid maybe procking a weakness policy on Dredagon, just in case he ran it, because yeah, because like I don't know, that would have been unpleasant. Scraggy I left at home. Intimidate would have been really, really useful, but he's just so. I really needed Eviolite for Tangela, and I needed Focus Sash from Netric. And Prime has proven he's not scared of switching out. And really, I just needed stuff that was gonna counter Magmortar. Aegislash is really nice in team preview just to have there because it does pressure the opponent so much because it's a ridiculously good Pokemon. So, but Scraggy in the back, like I just foresaw him like if I led Scraggy for instance, against he's gonna have Altaria and something. He'll just switch out the other thing if he wants, and then he's gonna Tailwind with Altaria, and then what am I gonna do with Scraggy? Right? Like I can't exert offensive pressure. Ground and Dark aren't very good. Sorry, Fighting and Dark aren't very good into his team anyway. I mean, he's just going to get run over. So, Manectric, super important, outspeeds everything on his team outside of Tailwind, and including his Tailwind setter. So, that was really cool. I ran Thunderbolt, Flamethrower because I didn't want to miss. I thought I don't need the extra power from Overheat. I can just run Thunderbolt and Flamethrower. The Boof left at home, right? So 2 Pokemon left. I ran Rapidash because Rapidash I knew was going to be the carry. And Rapidash is not great in the Runerius. It absorbs fire attacks because it has Flash Fire. And so I can switch it in. If I have Tangela out, I can switch in Rapidash if I predict a fire type attack. Although that's quite a read. And if I have Tangle up against a Magmortar anyway, like that's already I did something wrong in the lead. So I had Rapidash, and my Rapidash that was ridiculous. 4 attacks, shook a berry, and I had to have 4 attacks because I otherwise was going to get hard walled by something. And so I ran Solar Blade, high horsepower, Play Rough, and Mega Horn. Mega Horn was just to be able to one-shot Shiftry, while also lowering Magmortar's special attack in case he went with the Magmortar Shiftry lead. I could also, do like whatchamacallit, Play Rough, but that's not as strong, especially if you Dynamax the Shiftry, and then I'm still vulnerable to a Scorching Stance and Magmortar. These 4 attacks, you don't even run out of it because it's amazing speed tier. So I felt very, very confident in Rapidash's ability to outspeed the entire team and do a lot of damage. And I did pretty well. In Flare Blitz, I was like, why rely on 1.5 stab when you can rely on 2.0 super effective? And I'm able to hit with the moves I got on it. I'm able to hit you, not you, not you, not you, and you. All of them are super damage below. He did run. Oh, if you're in barrel, probably running Zap Zipper. Yeah, so I can hit basically everything I was expecting. Everything other than Golbat, super damage. So, I thought about Wild Card too, but yeah. Anyway, fast, really strong, not that tail and has coverage for days. Really great Pokemon. And then Archon. I ran Stark Archon with Tailwind to match the people areas also. And Smash. Since I was running Scarf, I was able to run Adamant Full Attack. Full Attack Adamant Head Smash, one shots Dynamax Magmortar. Very nearly one shots Kingler. One shots Altaria. One shot Golbat. Eviolite, I'm pretty sure. It might actually one shot Shiftry. It's a really freaking strong attack. And then I ran U-turn pretty much just for Shiftry. That doesn't actually get the one hit KO, even though it's 4 times effective, but it's really powerful. And then Tailwind, and then the last one I had was Shadow Claw originally. And I did that because I thought he might have Runerigus. And I was like, my only hope against Runerigus, if he was running for that, would be Aegislash. And, what if he's got the Ghost Absorb Berry? Then he'll be able to take a max Ghost from Aegislash. And I was like, not if I use Archon and I pop that berry first. Of course, I could just run knockoff. Anyway, so yeah, I had taunt and then hilarious anyway. So I was very happy with this team. I really thought the only way I really thought I was going to lose was missing a head smash from Archon or missing a sleep pattern from Tangela. And so in the games, you can see I really tried to avoid using sleep pattern from Tangela, and Archon, Archon, well, you'll see what happens. So luckily, I'm pretty sure this is the first one. Yeah, I think so. You've had a great year to be high deserving finalist. This is true. He would have been a fantastic finalist, very deserving. So here, turn one, I led the lead that I expected to because I needed a lead that was going to beat Shiftry Magmortar. And Manectric put on a ton of offensive pressure on Magmortar just with the Thunderbolt and Focus Sash to survive anything. Rapidash obviously one-shots Shiftry with Mega Horn or Max Mega Horn. But he ran more passive lead with Kingler and Altaria. What are the nicknames? Oh, by the way, the LWRD stands for Lead with Rapidash. To remind myself to lead it with Rapidash. And Rapidash was LWM for Lead with Manectric. So, okay. So, anyway, there goes Kingler. He's bye-bye. And I felt very frustrated that I had switched in this guy for nothing. I could have really used some damage. But I used Thunderbolt to no avail, and here comes the Tailwind. And this becomes a game of stalling out Tailwind, and what better way to stall out Tailwind than to Dynamax the bulkiest freaking thing I have, which is incredibly big Lantern. Also, I don't like Altaria. Also, I didn't realize, I just totally missed this, Cloud 9. So there's no weather. So that becomes very relevant very soon. So I predict the attack. Protect, which is not that bad a thing. It's not that bad to protect here because I do avoid, I don't care about the attack drop, but I do avoid breaking the sash, which is nice. So here comes Max Hailstorm. He barely survives, but what are the odds? And then, of course, Stomping Tantrum doesn't kill. So here's the interesting thing. It's not that bad that he survives because I figure that I can tank anything he's got. He's really low. As soon as I kill Altaria, at this point, I said goggles because I thought he had safety goggles. That's why he didn't die. But then I looked and noticed Altaria didn't die either, and I realized, he had Cloud 9. And so I use Max Hailstorm on... I think I use Max Hailstorm on Altaria here because I'm really excited at the idea of both of them dying in foiled, or and Prime not being able, not foiled feeling, not being able to reset his own Tailwind. And then Rapidash and Manectric should win handsomely in the back. I probably should have max guarded here, as I'm bringing in Tangela, who, doesn't care about really anything that Godzilla has. So, I mean, look at that, 7 damage. But anyway, went with Max Lightning. No, I did go with Max Lightning. What a weird move. Anyway, so I went with Max Lightning, and now Manectric is going to just demolish this guy. If I can get it in for free, if I can just get it in for free before Homeboy Tailwinds again. And this is the turn that I really seriously thought about going for Sleep Powder on Altaria. I really thought about going for Sleep Powder on Altaria. Like, I really thought about going for Sleep Powder on Altaria. But I didn't want to risk the RNG. So here comes a rather pitiful dual Wingmate. But then there's Max Flutterby. Oh no, now my special attack is down. That's really not good. And a -1 Lantern with no life orb or anything. It was Modest Mask, but it takes Altaria all the way down to its Focus Stash. So if I had thought about it, just so dumb. Like, I should have guessed he'd have a Sash and doubled into Altaria, but the idea of a Focus Sash just didn't even occur to me. And then, even though I know there's Cloud9, you always think, like, well, even if the Hail Chip will get him, and you don't stop to think, wait, no, Cloud9, that's not how it works. So, I do a lot of damage to Kingler, but there it is. And I'm like, okay, he's going to Tailwind, I know. And Tangela protects. Here it comes. And I'm like, well, I can outspeed before he gets to the Tailwind, and I do. And there comes Rage Powder, and I'm like, and all of a sudden, I'm like, you didn't have safety goggles on your Kingler, and I can take that. Look at that. Like, hang on, let's look back. Let's watch this. Let's watch this. So, oh no, Kingler's running low on health. Or sorry, Tingla's running low on health. No, he Hail Chip, thankfully. Rage Powder. Thunderbolt. I have 19 health. I'm taking a max move. Yeah, down to 7. It's like 12%. I love Tangela. And so now there's the last one. I thought, oh man, he's going to protect. This is so obvious. And what in the world am I going to do with Tangela? Tangela has no useful moves here because everything I want to attack is, like, I have Rage Powder, Energy Ball, Protect, and of course the last one's Sleep Powder. And so it's like, man, like, what in the world? I can't hit Shift Tree for anything useful. And, and I'm too slow. So, because I sure didn't have any speed investment. So, like, what am I going to do? I'm too slow to do that. But Thunderbolt does one-shot the Kingler, and I get brought down to my Sash, and I start feeling really good about the fact that I had a Sash. And so here comes Flamethrower, and that is a super effective hit, and Shift Tree is bye-bye. So, yeah, there you go. That's game 1. And so game 2, I thought, don't want to do the same lead because that's too predictable. Let me lead with my alternate mode of Archon, and if he leads Altaria, I'll just Head Smash and also attack into Altaria. If he leads like the Shift Tree Magmortar thing, that's also fine. I thought Head Smash would really scare away pretty much everything he's got, except for Runerigus, and then I did have Taunt for Runerigus if necessary, although he had a Mental Herb, so that would not have worked. And then you're choice locked into Taunt, and you're the slowest thing on the field. It would have been very bad. So I also thought, like, I really thought about maxing Archon. I really thought about it. And with the move that he made, that would have killed Kingler if I got the same damage roll as before, because it's the same power move. Would have killed Kingler, would have avoided the possibility of accuracy drop, set sand, which would have killed Kingler, as it happens. Drodagon would have not done that much damage. But then I have nothing useful to do other than max Rockfall again, and if he has Alteri, he can bring it in and Tailwind, or if he is Shiftry, he'll just outspeed, because my benefit of Sash is gone. Magmortar, max speed Magmortar outspeeds max speed Archon. I wasn't even max speed because I had Scarf, so I didn't need to be. So that was a real thought I had. We didn't have timer on for various reasons, and so I actually had a lot of time to think about it, and I ended up not maxing him, and I probably should have. It was, I think, the more consistent play was to max Archon, which is absolutely baloney insane to think about saying, but I didn't know if he had anything special for me. So anyway, so there's Head Smash, and holy freaking cow! There's Starfall, and I'm like, great, now when he uses a dragon move on me, it won't be as powerful, but he didn't even have a dragon move. So there's so there's your so he has a life orb, which of course he loses access to the void. He starts taking damage if he has sheer force. He starts taking damage once he's Dynamaxed, which is weird, but that's how it works. So taking stock, he has I have a Rapidash that he can't really damage. He has a Kingler, which can certainly do a lot of damage. So I can't knock him out without a boost. And it's like, man, should I have just avoided the whole Shuka nonsense and just run Life Orb on this thing? Because, man, I didn't realize how important it was going to be to have a 2-hit KO, to be able to get the 2-hit KO on Drodagon. Although this one did have Protect, he certainly would have max guard anyway. And then been able to bring in something that might put some more pressure on Rapidash. Anyway, here's Manectric, of course. He switches out. Not quite strong enough for the kill. I Thunderbolted because, of course, I did, because I'm dumb. So Thunderbolt was completely the wrong move if I had thought that he would bring in Shiftry, although I never imagined he would bring Shiftry in. I thought he's going to switch Magmortar back in, and so that's why I went with Thunderbolt instead of Flamethrower. Flamethrower would have been a really sick play. Here comes Max Quake. Here comes the Shuka Berry coming in clutch. Although with Life Orb, see, this is why people run Life Orb instead of Type Resist Berries. With Life Orb, I wouldn't have needed the Shuka Berry because I would have just two-shot him. But whatever. They get the special defense groups. He max guards. I did predict that, and so I Mega Horned. Do it. I couldn't have max Quake. That wouldn't have gotten the kill. I didn't have max Flare, and I wouldn't have wanted to do that anyway to power up. Why would I want to power up Magmortar? Max Fairy, I didn't need to. Max Quake, yeah, nothing would have been good, so I just went with Max Flutterby and lowered his special attack just in case he ran mixed, which I don't think is a thing. But I did that. And so then at this point, I started thinking, okay, I might have this. And then I'm like, well, if I Horsepower misses, I don't even remember what I had in the back. I might have had Aegis Slash. I think I had Lantern in the back. I might have had Tangle, I'm not sure. And obviously that makes a huge difference because obviously I'm going to KO Godzilla this turn. Rapidash is going to go straight into Magmortar and kill it. If High Horsepower hits. If High Horsepower doesn't hit, and so I started thinking what's my plan if it doesn't hit? It does hit, and I thought it might one-shot, but I wasn't sure. It did one-shot, which was very nice. And then, I just popped off with a Solar Blade. Sorry, forgive me. Um, Thunderbolt was really nice. So very, very good. Okay, so that's enough about me. That's enough about me. So now talk about the other matchup. Um, 49ers, 49ers, and then Marys. These are definitely. I mean, it doesn't usually work out this way, right, in playoffs. Um, but this season, with no disrespect to anyone, um, the four best teams definitely made it to the second round. Um, Most consistent all season long. These two teams definitely deserve to be where they're at. The winner's definitely going to deserve to be in the final, and it will be a very, very fun match. Um, the 49ers beat so I know that team, but Chase came up with a strategy after me, or maybe he had it. Um, that was just really powerful. There's a couple of really sick things that he can rely on. So the first one is Track Luke, who's cartoon up into Ballet, which is just diabolical. That is a diabolical setup. And if he does that, Ballet gets super high attack and then just start one shotting whatever it wants. Bolton can be really strong, actually. It's insane. But Bolton can be really good physically. It can also run special with competitive. So there's no telling what it's going to be. Crackle obviously doesn't have to be a ballet switch so that you can see directly ballet in front of you and think, oh, he's going to do E up. And then he does ballet switch while Galley sets Trick Room. Not that that ever happened to me. And I lost because of it. Yeah. So, and then of course he's got really, really good to abuse Trick Room with Rhydon. Rhydon's really strong. Impidimp has, tried all that um, which, you need dark types to be able to avoid. And if you look at Apple's team, he doesn't have any, so Impidim's going to be very, very strong in that. Spritzy, another Trick Room setter. Clawitzer, Trick Room abuser. Thievel. So this is the other thing, is that Thievel, it's not that hard to proc. Thievel's policy. And then once you proc policy on Thievel, it is abso-freaking-lutely game over if you are weak to dark, because Dark Pulse, Thievel, or was it physical or special? I don't remember. Dark attacking Thievel. Let's see. Once Unburden is activated, it outspeeds absolutely everything. It's just going to be devastating. Armor's going to be really strong defensive piece. Driftloon is bad, but it can be pretty in. So Apple's team just great that he's got with Montenegro, Hunter, Ally Switch, Photon, and Hunter, and Rondi. I think Lenny gets it too. Could be wrong. Fireball. So a lot of Ally Switch, a lot of skill up to make it levitate. Obviously, Agron dies to anything special. It's 4 times effective. Um, I ran Focus Blast, which is a terrible move, just to be able to one-shot Agron. By the way, I don't call it Focus Blast. Although, and then of course, even if you get that one-shot, it still because it has sturdy. You can just boost back up to where it certain level and has a really good defensive piece, surprising damage output too. Definitely attackers. They only ran one time, one game, I think, and it swept that game. So I don't know. Baneri is terrible, but it has like fake out, so I guess it's something. Gorgeist is another consider. A lot of ghosts. Um, him and Shan is just such a valuable piece. He's got the Ice Darumuka, very dangerous, and then Kraugunk, fake out, dry skin. A lot of really good pieces. He also has one thing really good about both these, well, especially this team, but also this team too, is it's pretty easy to come up with a good team that doesn't compete for Ethiolite. I think it's the biggest way to make your team stink. You have two people because you only get one. So, where you remember, obviously, you ride on with the Eviolite every single time, pretty much. Um, if you, unless, let's make that really bulky. Um, when the married, like, hunters will Eviolite, you can use it, you can use it, everybody can use it, or I can use it. So, let's start thinking about this matchup in particular. Um, I'm Apple, start with Apple. I'm Apple Jacks. I'm my default mode is to be Ruby aggro. I can do um, ally switch stuff. I can do speed swap stuff. On the offensive one, actually really good. It is even with Gallade and Brackloak. Um, Imp and people. I'll hit you effectively by best. So dazzling gleam. It's like really good stuff. I think it gets grass moves, so I don't have to be scared. Offensive on me is actually Prognant, honestly, not a terrible, it's not a terrible idea. Um, Hunter, Alex switching with Zombie. Oh, hi, Alex switching with Aggron is also still talking. Aggron is also definitely a possibility. Although he doesn't really. So this is the thing. Like, I feel like Aggron is just centerpiece. It's so good. It's so completely oppressive. And you give this thing levitate, or you give this thing super fast speed, and it's just over. I'd also look at the choice or the trick room aspect because I think it needs younger speed. Organized doesn't have the damage to it. Skirmy can really hurt it. Yes, organized with trick room, I think is very, very strong here. Um, Chan. I'm surprised enough it's on at home because don't do it other than fake out on turn one, and then what? I don't know, man. Surprise me, Apple. Um, they also could Malfunge to set up for Bombi, but that's maybe too much damage. Um, anyway, so I'm definitely running Bombi out on Totem because like if you on this button not much. It gives you a way to hit Skarmy super effectively though, and actually that's interesting. So he doesn't have anything to hit Skarmy super effectively, really. I mean, like some guys can use like Thunder Punch or whatever. Haunter can run Thunderbolt, but like, is that really going to do that much damage to Skarmory? Um, in terms of elemental punches, is it really going to come? So yeah, I might try Haunter aggro if I'm Apple. Haunter, I'm pretty sure it outspeeds Dracloak, but not if it's choiced. And definitely will outspeed Gallade because, and so you could use Haunter to do like a, I don't know, a Specs Shadow Ball or something into Gallade and really, really do a lot of damage into that. Or even Max Ghost Gallade. That might, with Life Orb, that might actually pick up the one hit KO into Gallade. And then, although of course, you have to be able to take whatever Dracloak does, if he picks up on that. I would. You really want to have good damage into that Gallade. I think Bombi, I'm at probably running offensive Bombi. The answer to everything on this team, except for Bolton and Skarn. Bolton and Skarn, you know, I run both of them, although Skarn is scary. I might, I think I'd run probably, I'd run these pretty definitely. I would run, I'd have four guys for crew mode, definitely. I'd have him, what do you even do, like, Kraganol? I guess you have to have someone, right? Yeah, this doesn't look like a great matchup. I'm trying to think what Apple can do. Yeah, like, it's kind of like that look. It's Weakness Policy Evil. Um, like, what do you do? What do you do? Um, Hitmonchan's really good in the Thievel, of course, but especially with like an assault vest. If I'm the Grimers, I'm thinking, okay, I think I think on this one, honestly, if I'm a Graploak with Allied, Allied. The caveat though, you need to adjust the technical Allied because if you're running Hunter, like Hunter's gonna mess you up, and I'd have something that could one-shot Hunter. It's like they said. I'm pretty sure it's that Shadow Sneak itself. So actually, I wonder if it will Shadow Sneak uh, Haunter. Elliot is really obviously Ghost. Um, so I might run Ghost Berry because I would definitely expect it to have to take some Ghost attacks. Um, I think it's an important thing. If he doesn't have some way of getting Aggron off the ground, Rhydon's really powerful into it. Oof, but it's really bad in the rest of the team. Aggron beats it mostly. Rom has super big advantage to it. And Jan is super sad. You gotta have that. You might have Rhydon just as an answer in that case. Apple does trick. Like a trick from Spear anti-sugar. And probably have Skirmy. Cloudster is really good. Doesn't really do much for him in this matchup, right? Like, who's Clawitzer supposed to beat? Mudbray. It would definitely beat Mudbray, but I think as long as Evil, some sort of play, should be good. That might be Apple strategy because, like, if you're big, so you're really gonna Clawitzer just right? Water hits. Yeah, you got, like, like Rotom's electric do a lot of damage as well. Um, so yeah, I would have those three, and then him, I think saying screens could be really helpful. Pretty sure it gets fake out as well, so that's helpful-ish. Although you can't fake out, you can't fake him out. You can't fake him out. Literally one damage point, by the way. A quad resisted 30 base power non stab attack from an unevolved Monbelly. If he does end up faking out your Aggron Apple, you gotta like take a snapshot and let us see how much damage that did. Can't fake out Rotom, can't fake out Haunter, can't fake out Cryogonal, and can't fake out Mudbray because Dynamax. You can fake him out, you can't fake him out, you can't fake him out. You can't really fake him out because he's a Dynamax and he has he's gonna fake out. So I think that's really useful. So I might leave it on the subscreen. Yeah, and then I might run Skarmory. Oh, how did he set up evil? Now I really want to see this. Let's go back in the past. What was the week of Thievel? I think it was actually the matchup against it was the matchup against the Marrieds. So we're gonna go back in time. Look at this team. You know, it's really, really good, and Chase got smoked that day. Then here, and how did he set it up? Here comes Rabombi. Max Haunter. Max. Oh, yeah, Choice Scarf U-turn. Choice Scarf U-turn. And that's like, oh, dang. That's not very effective. And he's like, oh man, you thought you could just do that on me. And well, and then that's just a genius Max guard. Sorry, that's genius. Yes. The Max Darkness, and so good. Like to avoid the trap of going into Haunter there. You know you're going to prac a policy. Or sorry, a Focus Sash. He doesn't. He goes for a Rotom. The bigger threat leaves deal with it. Anyway, yeah, and then it's just boom, 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 boom. So it was special. That was, yeah, the Max card was huge. It was, but it was, you're really good move. Anyway, Jace really, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that was beautiful. So, Scarf U-turn. That was how you procced it. So he doesn't have a priority way to proc it, but you know what? How could you make sure you take out Dracloak in one hit if it's scarfed? You could run Scarf Haunter, Shadow Ball, or even Scarf Rotom, Shadow Ball. No, Scarf Rotom's not going to be fast enough. Scarf Haunter, I think Haunter outspeeds Dracloak. Anyway, so definitely bringing Thievel, definitely bringing Skarmory, and Skarmory is just really good because there's nothing here except for Rotom that Skarmory really fears. So, and then like Clawitzer is not a bad Pokemon to have in back. I might actually, if I'm him, I might Scarf Clawitzer. No, Scarf Clawitzer actually is really good in general, but I wouldn't do it here. Yeah, Skarmory and Thievel, and then so I guess then you do have the flexibility of a sixth Pokemon, and you could. Now, here's the thing: you could run Delibird just to be able to Ice Shard your own Rotom and proc policy. But Rotom's so slow. No, bad decision. Anyway, so Delibird is terrible. Absolutely is bad. So, Outer Evil, Skarmory, Dracloak, Gallade, Item. So on these next primary Evil, Skarmory, Gallade, Dracloak, and maybe like Specs Cloud or Specs Clawitzer, just because no one on the team really is going to be getting the Specs in their face, right? Um, like no one's going to enjoy that guys try it off. Well, actually, I would actually literally enjoy it. You would kill it. No one else is going to enjoy that. Um, so I definitely give some advantage to Jace. I think he's very, very much in possession of the bigger threats. I think uh, can he beat the overpowering lead of this Rom deck? Which the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, just leave Rabambi. Don't overcomplicate things. Leave Rabambi aggro and keep him guessing. Are you going to go ally switch? Are you going to go speed swap? Um, or are you going to do the exact opposite of what everyone expects and, go on the offensive and Moonblast and just destroy either Gallade or Dracloak? You know, he's got so many options available to him with Rabambi. Rabambi's really good. And there's a reason it's an A star. Um, so if Jace can figure out a lead that deals with that, then I think Jace will have success. The one tiny problem is there's no way with Thievel. There's no way to proc its weakness policy. I think with a spread attack that would also break the stash. Like if this was Metagross or something, you could brutal swing into it. You would do at least a little damage to Rabambi and Aggron, so that Aggron would lose Sturdy and Rabambi would lose its focus sash. But what is Stark weak to? Fighting. There's no fighting move that attacks everyone. Bug. No bug move that attacks everyone. And fairy. There's no fairy move that attacks everyone. So yeah. So you can't. You have to directly attack it in order to proc its policy. Or alternately, be really fast, set up a terrain or something. Proc its policy that way. Not proc its policy. Proc something else besides policy. So yeah, like you could, I don't know, max Bolton. Bolton's not terrible here, by the way. It's just not good. So yeah, that would be what I would do. And yeah, hopefully this gives you guys some advice. My prediction, I'm not going to make a prediction because both of these are extremely good players and it's hard to predict. But if you said, if I did an armpit with, I don't know, Glenn, right there, I'll take him back. You take these teams, I'll take the other one. We'll see who wins. I'm definitely taking Jace's team. And yeah, we'll see if you. Good luck beating Scarf, Dracloak, and Gallade lead. So anyway, good luck. And I'm going to really enjoy watching it, and I'm going to be scouting it relentlessly. And it is kind of funny because I look at my team and I'm like, oh, my matching up against these guys. They have like actual like really good teams. And I'm like, look, I can interact this. All right, have a good day.